Welcome to the Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire.
Waiver Wire.
Waiver Wire.
Waiver Wire.
Oh, what up? Welcome to the Waiver Wire,
What's
where
up,
fantasy
y'all?
players become fantasy legends. Most people's fantasy leagues are coming to an end. Ours have come to an end.
Ours is over. Thank God.
Is over. Gay Robert won.
Gay Robert won.
Gay Robert beat
If
us.
I'd have beat him last week, I would have won this week.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that we've allowed this to happen. That
He won like 9 in a row or some shit like that.
And I mean, he had a lot of Deebo Samuel and Austin Eckler. I'd say those are two surprises of this year that we didn't really see coming. He has AJ Brown, who went off this week.
Everybody that he played this week went off.
He put Justin Jackson in for Austin Eckler, and he had a great game.
He played Amos St.
St. Brown for the Lions.
And he did a good job.
Yeah, he did a good job. And, Gay Robert for a gay guy that you wouldn't, you talk to him and you think, he's not going to know about sports. But like baseball, football, every time I talk about sports, I'm like, God damn, you know all this shit. You know all the people's names. Like,
wow,
he just keeps up with it.
Weird that gay people can know
Yeah,
about
I didn't think that was allowed. But apparently it is. But so we had a Christmas break. We did not have a show last week. Both of us were under the weather. And we just had, we were working a bunch. We had other shit going on. So sorry we didn't get to you last week. But we are back in action.
We weren't here for you when you needed us for your championship.
It's true. We let you down. But, I think as far as for me, it was probably a breath of fresh air. If you listened in to me and you wanted to avoid what I had to say, you probably did all right. But
very true. First of all, before we get happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Josh's birthday was yesterday.
Yeah. My birthday is December 27th. So I almost always forget that it's even a day. Like it comes up and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Because Jesus outshines me every fucking year.
Well, I mean, he's Jesus.
Yeah. And,
he's saving everyone from their sins,
Josh. As a kid, it was a bummer because I was like, I would get my hopes up, like, oh, it's my birthday. Everybody's going to care. This is my birthday. But now as an older person, I worked yesterday.
Did they ever forget your birthday? Because it was like, oh, shit.
Always. Not forget, but it would be like, I mean, there were years that like, my dad got laid off one year, and the Christmas presents that we got, we were like a blessing, and they were like, and a lot of years it would be like your Christmas presents, they're for
your birthday presents.
So it always was that from my extended family. My aunt would always give me that. She'd be like, your Christmas present is, and be like, oh, thanks, bitch. Your Christmas present that I got you is for your birthday in March. Don't ask me for shit. Your birthday doesn't matter in March, and now that's why I'm jaded towards everybody's birthday. When I get people that come into the restaurant with fucking crowns on and shit, and they're like, it's my birthday. It's like, no one fucking cares. It's just a day. But happy birthday.
I don't ever care.
Yeah, no.
Everybody else cares more than I do.
After a certain age, I feel like, what are we? What like 16? 16's a big one, I guess.
I did take off this year, and we had a little party. It was kind of fun.
Well, there you go. See, so,
we got some party. We got drunk.
And yours is in December. Yours is December what? 8th. Yeah, so not as close to Christmas, but man, Christmas really.
Yeah, mine was always at least far enough away that it was separate.
Yeah, mine is super close. So
and right afterwards too.
Yeah,
so everybody's like,
always
"Yay, Christmas!"
Yeah,
fuck, Josh's birthday,
and everybody's usually like tired and out of it, and they've been doing all this shit with family. So like anytime when I was a kid, and it would be like, let's try to have a birthday party on my birthday. People would be like, yeah, we won't even be in town. We're not gonna fucking make it. Don't bother me with that shit. So
poor Josh.
But yeah,
we're gonna have to have a birthday party for next year.
Fuck birthdays. But let's see. So this weekend was Christmas. How was your Christmas? All good?
I literally was I had COVID, so I quarantined myself.
Damn it. I had to work, which is
you worked.
Unbelievable to work on Christmas Day.
I watched football.
I get irrational. If you go out to eat on Christmas Day, you're a piece of fucking shit. And let me explain. You are telling the owners of this restaurant that this is a good idea. That, look, see? What do they mean don't
Y'all
open
were
on
busy
Christmas
too,
Day?
I bet, huh?
Oh yeah, we had a great day, and it was like everybody that came in, I got so mad at. And usually like on holidays when you work, on like Mother's Day or whatever, people love to say this to you. They love to go, "I'm so sorry that you have to work. Oh, I'm so sorry that you have to work." And most of the time on all the other holidays, I just go, "Oh, it's okay. I'd rather be here with you guys." And server Josh just fakes it. But on Christmas, I stare people straight into their souls when they apologize to me, and I said not. They'd say, "I'm so sorry that you have to work on Christmas," and I would just stare at them. I didn't say anything. I didn't say, "No, it's okay." I just stared at him with this face. Are you sorry? Are you sorry? Because you're here. So it doesn't seem like you're that sorry. Go home. Do something else. Grocery stores aren't open. Fucking nothing's open. You know why? Because we shouldn't be working on Christmas Day. Europe, the rest of the world, they shut that shit down. Fucking Spain will shut down every 30 minutes. They have siestas all the time. The fucking in Mexico, literally every day, midday, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna chill for a little bit." Not here in America. Christmas Day, get your ass to work and work a fucking. It was all day. I got there at 12:30 and didn't leave till like 11:30.
Capitalism, bro.
Unbelievable.
Did you make $1,000?
I made good money. I made great money, and yes, it was. But I felt like it was blood money. I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, you're a fucking mercenary, bro.
Yep. But there was some football amidst all of what we speak of.
There was.
There was a Thursday night game that was a really good game. Jimmy Garoppolo fractured his thumb and tore a ligament in his thumb. Oh, he knows. The minute, and I mean, that's why they haven't even ruled him out right now, because they guarantee you this dude's like, I can play. He knows.
But why?
The minute I sit down,
from San Francisco's point of view, why would you keep playing your quarterback when he was injured?
This. I kind of like it. Now listen, why?
But they had a chance to make the playoffs.
They still do. They're the 6th seed. In the NFC, they're still in this. And I like the fact that they are not rushing Trey Lance out there. Maybe Kyle Shanahan has the fortitude to understand, I don't think we're going to win a Super Bowl this year. But I think next year we could.
But don't you want to give your team the best chance to win now?
I think okay, in the crazy world of what Kyle Shanahan has, where he has young talent and he has an owner that probably has given him a little bit of leeway, with some of these other people don't have. Some of these, Matt Rule in Carolina doesn't have the same. He can't say the same thing where it's like, "Oh, well, next year we're going to be good."
Matt Rule thinks he's Jay-Z.
Oh, dude, unbelievable.
He compared himself to Jay-Z.
I saw that. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking
hilarious.
about, Matt Rule?" Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think maybe Shanahan has a plan. And look, now Jimmy G goes out and you bring in the kid and you'll go in the playoffs. Let's say he gets a playoff win. Oh, my God. Now you look like fucking geniuses.
But then why not play him in this game? Like, that's what I don't understand.
Because save him for as long as you can. Use Jimmy till the wheels fall off. Injuries are going to happen, so...
But you're losing.
But
like,
they're
there's
8-7.
games. Yeah, but there's look at all these teams chasing them
that are 7-8. I mean,
but there's 2
Minnesota,
games left.
Atlanta, New Orleans. I hear you that this game would have been big for them to win.
They can't just lose the rest of the games and expect to make the playoffs.
In Kyle Shanahan's mind, I really don't think he's like, it's Super Bowl or bust for us. It's playoffs.
I'm not saying Super Bowl or bust.
Or
I'm
even
just
playoffs
saying
or bust.
He injured a fucking, what was his pinky, right?
Thumb.
Oh, his thumb on his throwing hand.
Yeah.
And then he threw 2 picks.
Yeah. Well, he cost them the game.
I'm just saying, and they were winning at the time.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you would do that when you have a quarterback.
I'm telling you,
does that mean Trey Lance sucks that bad?
No, I think it's the I think they really think, fuck it, we'll figure this out next year. This is not our year.
But they're in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, but in the NFC, that's not saying much.
All you gotta do is make the playoffs, see what happens. They have a good enough defense that if they show up.
No, Kyle Shanahan is smart enough to realize in those top 5, Green Bay, Dallas,
then
Rams.
why even try to make the playoffs?
Well, they're not. It's not that they're trying to make the playoffs. It's that the rest of the NFC is so bad, and they've strung together enough wins that they look like this. But the fact that they haven't played Trey Lance, either it's what you're saying that Trey Lance sucks that bad, or they're thinking of the
and
future.
what we have seen, he looks okay.
Yeah.
I just
Well-
I don't get it. It's
well,
weird.
we're gonna obviously see. We're gonna see him
It's
coming
weird.
up.
AJ Brown came back, played like a beast.
He did. They were fucking just throwing it up, and he was pulling it out of the air. But San Francisco was a 3.5-point favorite going into Tennessee. I thought that was very strange, and I took Tennessee, and I was right.
Good job. I
17
would have
to
taken Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I want to get these all right today.
yeah, I would have gone with all this, and
Absolutely, I'd have gone with Tennessee.
I don't know how Tennessee going forward. I know they're right there. They're 10-5. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Derrick Henry back.
Yeah, I
They
know.
got
I
a
hear you.
shot.
I just don't know what it is about Ryan Tannehill, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not like,
but
oh yeah, they're going to win a
If
Super
Derrick
Bowl.
Henry comes back and he's Derrick Henry, they can beat anybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And if they become a Derrick Henry team, I can't argue with that
And it
at
looks
all.
like they're going to win that division.
Oh yeah.
Like-
well, never say never. Never say never. Indy
they're
is
only
coming.
They got a game up on the Colts.
They do.
Plus, they got the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
essentially, they have a 2-game lead with 2 to go.
If Tennessee loses out, there is a scenario
Right.
where
There
they,
is a scenario.
you know,
They would have to lose out, and the Colts
Indy's
would have
gotta
to
win
win
out.
both. I think.
yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's plausible. But yeah,
Yeah.
good Thursday night game.
Yeah.
And then we go to Saturday, which was Christmas Day. We had 2 awesome games. Both of them were really good matchups. Baker Mayfield sucks dick. I'm just gonna say that now.
Yeah,
he's bad.
He makes
He's
some
bad.
really, really bad throws.
Yeah, we
You're
started
like,
with the
what
Browns
fuck?
going to Green Bay, and he threw 4 picks.
Honestly, I'm surprised it was as close as it was.
The ones at the end of the game too were like, dude, like, what did you even see there? Like, I don't even understand. I mean, I know he doesn't have the greatest arm. He doesn't have an Aaron Rodgers arm, but
My boy Nick Chubb, fucking.
yeah, he did well. He did well. And I mean, Cleveland, what a weird story. You know, I thought going into this year, I mean, I think both of us had them going in the playoffs. I think we both even might have had them winning the
I think we had
division.
them winning the division.
Yeah. And it just shows
And they're
that
last in the division.
Cleveland
now.
is Cleveland. You
That
know?
whole
They're-
division just went
Yeah.
flip flop
Yeah. Yeah, I think I had Pittsburgh going pretty
in a
high
matter of a
too.
few weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I went. I can't remember. I have to go back and look.
Yeah. But Cleveland went into Green Bay, and it was a close game. It was 7.5-point favorite, which is high. I took Green Bay, but they did not cover those points. So while I was right that Green Bay won the game, I was not right in Vegas's eyes. 22-24. Man, like the other thing too is that the receivers on Cleveland suck. Like Jarvis Landry has fallen off the face of the earth. Donovan Peoples-Jones is dropping balls left and right. Like he doesn't have anybody to
Well,
throw
and
to.
also, I mean, and then half the time Baker can't hit him. Like,
Yeah.
he's not throw. He doesn't throw.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
not.
weird.
He's not good, and they have a choice. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to re-sign this guy? Probably not.
I mean, he's not any better than.
No, I
Like
wouldn't.
Colt McCoy.
I wouldn't do it. I mean, I don't see the point of it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
He's
do
a
it.
good backup, and he'll be a great backup in this league for a long time.
He will. He'll find another job as a backup, but
And
he shouldn't be a starter.
somebody else will probably pay
Well,
him
there's,
starter
and there's a lot of
money.
teams that need quarterbacks. So I say never say never.
Yeah,
he could end up
somebody
with a
will give
starting
him a
job.
shot as a starter for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
But he'll end up being a good backup.
Yep, that's true. But Green Bay got this win, which took them to 12-3, which means barring them losing out and people winning all the games, other people winning all their games, they're probably going to be the number 1 seed, which I love. Brady going to Lambeau. Seen that before. Sounds good. He knows how to do that one. So easy peasy. And then we go to the next game. The night game on Christmas was awesome. This was
Indy's really good.
Indy's
man.
really good. And you know what? This wasn't even a Jonathan Taylor day.
No.
This was Carson Wentz made a fucking nice ass throw at the end of that game.
And the defense played real well.
And they're going to keep playing well. Their
Yep.
defense is good. Darius Leonard is one of the best. I took Indy in this. I thought they would beat Arizona, who's on a bit of a slide. They've lost 3 in a row now.
Yeah, their offense just isn't quite the same without D-Hop.
And DeAndre Hopkins won't be back for the regular season, so I think these next couple games It's interesting.
But they'll make the playoffs.
They're playing at Dallas this week, which is a very interesting game.
But I think they've clinched a
No, they're going to make the playoffs. Especially,
I think they clinched already.
The rest of the NFC is so. Yes, they did. The rest of the NFC is so weird and so doo-doo that they will definitely make the playoffs. And honestly, should give whoever the number 4 is a run for their money. If it is Tampa Bay, it's going to be a really good game. But I don't see Tampa staying at that number 4 spot, but we'll get there. So I got that right. Indy at Arizona. And somebody to watch who has crept up here on this top 50 list is Mr. Michael Pittman Jr. He has performed really well, number 29 here on this top 50. So I think going into next year, he's somebody that I'm going to keep my eye on. I thought about it this year. I really did because I was like, I really like this Michael Pittman guy out of USC. Big receiver. But
yeah, he's played well.
Going into next year, I'm into it. Then we go to the Chargers at Houston. And this is why I can't trust this fucking guy. This is why I can't trust this fucking team. Also, Houston, what are we doing? What's the point of this? You just don't like your draft pick? You're like, you know what? I don't want the top 3 pick. I just want to be in the top 10 somewhere. Like, I'm cool with 7 or 8. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
They know they'll fuck up one of them top picks. We get those kind of 7. Well, fuck, we've done some really shitty.
Yeah, we've done some really dumb things with those 7 or 8. I mean, I guess, and also I'm a dreamer that thinks.
But the best picks that we have picked are kind of in that mid-range.
Yeah, but I think the number 1 pick, the most value that you can get out of the number 1 pick is to trade that pick for a boatload of picks. That's the win when you have the number 1 pick and you have a quarterback, which we have one. He's just in massage jerk off hell or purgatory or whatever. He's trapped in jail.
I think you draft a quarterback.
But we have a quarterback
and an offensive line. Like until you get the offensive line and quarterback situation figured out. You just keep doing that.
Well, we're going to need things to replace some staples like J.J. Watt. We're going to need some defensive ends to come in.
I'm not saying you can't draft other players, other positions.
With that top pick, though, if you have the number 1 pick, like imagine that it's going to be Jacksonville again with the number 1 pick. Well, they're not going to take a quarterback. They just did it. And it's not Trevor Lawrence's fault that they suck this bad. There's so much on that team that's bad.
Not taking a quarterback.
No, so then the smartest thing for Jacksonville
Detroit
to do
probably will.
The smartest thing for Jacksonville to do is
maybe not.
Trade that pick, that number 1 pick, to somebody who's desperate for. Call the Washington football team up.
What's his name said? Who was it? Todd McShay. He doesn't think that there's going to be a quarterback taken in the top 10 this year.
No, that's crazy. So many teams need a quarterback. I can't stop naming teams that need a quarterback. That's crazy.
I'm just telling you what he said.
Todd, you don't know. I'm fucking do this for a living, Todd. Shut the fuck up. So the Chargers, thank you, mybookie.com. The Chargers, man, they came in and laid an egg. 29-41 is not indicative to how the game was. Houston pretty much stomped them out from the beginning.
That's funny. I didn't even watch it.
Oh, they killed him. And Justin Herbert is so up and down. I don't trust this fucking guy. I don't trust him. Going into next year, I'm not doing it. I'm not into it. He has games where he's good. He has games where he's bad. They are played themselves pretty much out of the playoffs now. I mean, Miami's got that 7 seed right now. We'll see. But even if the Chargers do make the playoffs, you're a first round. You're getting knocked out. So I don't really see the Chargers being
all 3 of those teams that are just outside don't. They're all going in the wrong direction.
Miami's been playing great, but Miami's not beating Tennessee or Cincinnati or Buffalo.
They've won 7 in a row.
Well, and it's any given Sunday. It's just one game, so I guess it is possible. The Chargers were a 9-point favorite on the road. I still took them. I should have known. I should have been like, man, that number's pretty high, and the Chargers are up and down. But the fact that they lost by as much as they did.
You love the Chargers.
Yeah, I can't quit them, I would just keep going back to them. Fuck the Chargers.
They're like crack, like cigarettes.
The Los Angeles crack. Houston, though, they looked good, and hopefully this is one of the things that we can show Deshaun. Hopefully this is one of the games we can show Deshaun and say, look, man, we're not that bad. We're not that bad of a team. You come back, we'll draft
if that's the case, then draft him an offensive line and give him some weapons.
Yeah, we need to replace it.
Because you need to go one side of the ball or the other, and then you just hope for. Then you put some guys on the defense that can force turnovers.
This is just me being hopeful that we have a generational talent in Deshaun Watson. He's so good. I don't want to give him up. I don't want to just let him go because he got jerked off a couple times.
Shit, if he don't want to play,
yeah. Houston, good job, I guess. But I got that wrong. Sorry, my bookie. I should have known better about the bitch ass Los Angeles crackheads. The Detroit at Atlanta. Man, Detroit's scrappy though. They're scrappy. They fought in this game too. They really tried to.
For a while.
Yeah, they were up. They play well. It's got to be so frustrating being a Lions fan because if you watch these games, you're like, God damn it, we're in these games. How are we not winning these games? Atlanta was a 5.5 point favorite, which was too much. I did not get that right in the Vegas sense because it was 16-20, but I did have Atlanta winning the game, and they did. Atlanta 7-8. They have a chance. I mean, if they win out and Philly or San Francisco lose, they could definitely get in. So Atlanta is a weird team, and they're not a very good team, and they've just strung together a couple wins. There's a couple of things that have gone right for them. Cordell Patterson went right for them. Kyle Pitts is getting better, but the fact that Calvin Ridley walked away for meningitis or whatever he had.
Buffalo this week, though.
Yeah, probably a loss there, I would assume. 14.5 points is insane, though. There's a couple of really high points in these spreads. But, Atlanta, weird team. And this game, thankfully, was not a lot on Red Zone. They weren't showing a lot of this on the Red Zone, which I appreciate. Red Zone. You knew Buffalo and New England was the one. They kept saying it, too. They were like, we're going to go back to this Buffalo-New England game because we know that this one has the most playoff. And thank you, Red Zone. You get it. Yeah, they hear it. And I know y'all are watching the show, so I appreciate it.
Somebody's been watching.
Baltimore at Cincinnati. Woo! My Bengals, man. And
now they're leading the division.
They're leading the division. They're definitely going to make the playoff. I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs. They have a hard game this week, but I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs, and they really stomped Baltimore out. It was, again, 41. I think the 21, they didn't score till later. Now, the downside to this was, who is the guy that was playing quarterback? Johnson? I think Josh Johnson or something like that. Because Huntley got on the COVID list and Lamar Jackson was still injured. So Baltimore didn't have a quarterback, and that had a lot to do with it. But Cincinnati came out and played well. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, I believe in it. It's working. The Joe Mixon thing is working. Their offense is good. And, I mean, good luck to anybody to them in the playoffs. Any given Sunday, all they got to do is win one game.
Got the offense to do it.
Yeah, and they'll end up playing one of these if they are the three. I mean, New England versus Cincinnati is a good matchup. Buffalo versus Cincinnati is a good matchup. Indianapolis is the dark horse in the AFC. They really are. They're scary.
Yeah,
they're
who
scary.
wants to play Indy? Especially if
they started off so bad, but
they're gonna have to go somewhere and play. Somebody's got to host them.
Yeah, it's going to be hell.
Yeah, Buffalo. See, this is why I say get an offensive line, because Indy's showing it. Like, Taylor's a really good running back. Don't get me wrong.
No, but their offensive
line just mauled.
Yeah.
Like, New England was like the best fucking run defense in the league, and they made them look fucking stupid.
And when you invest in the offensive line, when there are a bunch of high draft picks that they have on that offensive line, it pays off. Eventually, it pays off. So
I don't know. It seems.
Man, can you imagine Andrew Luck on this Colts team? Woo! They'd be nice. They'd be very, very good. And not to say Carson Wentz hasn't done all right.
And that's why they drafted that offensive line was for Andrew Luck.
Yeah. Well, and they are a team that going into next year's draft, that's why I don't buy it, Todd McShay. If you're Indianapolis, why not get a replacement for Carson Wentz if you see it, if he's there? If you believe in it.
And they might, but
this guy from Pittsburgh's pretty good.
He just said that there might be like 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round.
It's not a very deep quarterback.
None in the draft, none in the top 10. Is what he said.
But I got that right. Cincinnati 2.5 point favorite. I went with that. I'm going with Cincinnati.
I would have picked Cincinnati.
Yep. And you would have been right. They won by 20. And then the Rams went to Minnesota. Minnesota just can't get it done. This is just who they are. They have Justin Jefferson go out there and perform well every single week.
Yeah, I think that's a Kirk Cousins thing.
Yeah,
he's just not
can't get it done. And on the flip side of that coin is that the Rams have been playing a lot better. The Rams have gone on a little bit of a run.
But that being said, Kirk Cousins is better than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I take Kirk Cousins over a lot of fucking quarterbacks in the league, actually. I would take him over Dak. To be honest with you, I'd take him over Dak. I was talking to them about how I can't put Dak in my top 10 of quarterbacks. I can't do it. Dak's not it. I'm telling you.
He might. I don't know. I haven't really done a top 10 of.
Okay, here we go. Patrick Mahomes, I'm so sorry. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, what the fuck is wrong with me? Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert.
Herbert?
Bear. I'm putting Jalen Hurts over Dak. I'm putting
I don't think I'd put Herbert over Dak at this point for sure.
Well, if you're starting a team and you get to pick one of those quarterbacks, Dak or and then I think Kirk, that's a good one. Kirk should be in that conversation. Russell Wilson. Okay, there we go. Did I say Josh Allen? Yeah, I said Josh Allen. I said Joe Burrow. Lamar Jackson, you could argue that. I don't love Lamar Jackson, so I'm not going to. I mean, Matt Stafford, I could make an argument for that, but you could see how I say he is right at the bottom of a top 10. He's definitely 10 or 11, so in my book.
But you could argue him at that 6 or 7.
Nah, he ain't no 6 or 7. I'm taking Justin Herbert over Dak, and I don't even love. You know how I feel about Bear. But it's because I don't believe.
What about the hip movement?
I don't believe Dak has the. Yeah, that's the gayest thing ever to come out in the beginning doing this little herky jerk. Stop it. But I don't think he has the fastball. I think he has good dink and dunk. He's like a Colin Kaepernick. Like, he can dink and dunk. He doesn't have a very good deep ball. And when he has to actually put it on somebody and get a first down, he fucks it up. And he makes bad decisions in big games. There's been some big games where he has really shit the bed. So, anyways, not big on the Cowgirls, even though they got a big win this week. Let's see, where were we?
Washington.
They did. And that's what I said to all the Cowgirls fans. Oh, really? You beat the Washington Redskins? Good for you. Buffalo at New England.
It's just the Washington football team.
You know what I meant, though. Buffalo at New England, and I picked Buffalo. It was going to be my surprise pick of, I actually think Buffalo's going to go get it done in New England. And it was because New England, there has been a lot of good things that I didn't see coming. I didn't have New England being this good. They're going to make the playoffs for sure at 9-6. I think they easily make the playoffs, especially with the rest of their schedule. They have Jacksonville this week, so they're going to win that game.
Kind of falling off here, though.
But they've kind of fallen off, and Mac Jones has kind of showed his rookie colors.
He kind of smacked him in the mouth.
Yeah, it's showing that. Yes, the system can work if the defense is next worldly, and I don't think they are. I think their defense is good, not oh my God, they're not a defense that is going to win you a Super Bowl. They're not a Ray Lewis defense. I was
kind of surprised at this, especially the way that New England beat them and smacked them around.
Yeah, that's true.
In Buffalo,
Buffalo's got something to prove. They really want
good for them. They're back on top of
They need to get back in this. So I saw them kind of going into New England and just saying, "Fuck this. We're gonna win this game no matter what." And they did.
I benched Josh Allen. Well, thankfully it didn't cost me.
Yeah. Oh, and Dannon got third.
I got third. Yeah.
Yeah, so he played for free, and the Gay Robert won. You know what's funny too? So Gay Robert, the draft happens, and then I think it was like a week later, he got in a bad car wreck. It took him out of work for I think like 4 or 5 months, and he fucked his back up, and he came back and was able to be like a host for a little bit, but he really couldn't move around very much. So he never gave me the money. He never gave me the 100, and I was like, it's one of those situations again where it's like, no, it's I asked him to play, and he, I'll vouch for him or whatever. Maybe he'll win some money, and now this motherfucker won the whole fucking thing.
He probably needs it then. Shit.
Yeah, he probably he does. And he made a lot of good moves, and the dude was super confident, and it really pissed us all off because he was like, "No, I'm gonna win," and it was like, God damn it! I think he is gonna win. But yeah, it was funny that the gay Robert beat us all. His name is just Robert, but I feel as though it's nice to have a nickname. Like I could be Fat Josh. That might be what people say. Buffalo though, 33-21. I took Buffalo in this. Go to mybookie.com and do everything that I say. They called and they said thank you so much, and they sent another Brinks truck in. So we're rolling in the dough thanks to mybookie.com. I'm just manifesting
Thanks,
this, people.
MyBookie.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The Jacksonville at the Jets. Again, thank you, Red Zone. You brought it up multiple times. They even said as they would cut to it, they'd be like, "We're going to show you what happened in the Jets stadium, but we know that nobody really wants to watch this game." And it was like, no one wants to watch this game.
We're real sorry about
But the Jets got it done against a team that has completely given up. It seems as though they are totally okay with being the worst in the league every single year. Jacksonville has got to be the worst organization.
But I think Detroit's still got the worst record, right?
No, because of the tie, and they won.
Jacksonville's only won one game?
2, but Detroit's won 2 and has a tie.
Oh, they won 2?
Yeah, they beat Arizona and they beat.
They beat Arizona.
Yeah. But and I mean also you can't make an argument for a worse organization, can you? They've got to be the worst.
I thought they were moving to fucking Austin or some shit.
Yeah, well, and the owner of that team has got to be like
Jacksonville.
Yeah, the owner of that team's the fucking Amir Khan or whatever the fuck his name is. He's got to be like, why the fuck do I do this? Why? Where is my harem of bitches? Why do I waste my Sundays worrying about what these fucking team? But I mean, he thought he had a coach. He thought he had a winning coach from the States. That Urban Meyer's name was, a big name.
When's the last time a college coach, a big time college coach?
I guess Pete Carroll. It's got to be the last. That's got to be the last success story because I can't really. I mean, you see some of these other guys like Matt Rule and some of these guys that have come up, but a lot of them that have success in college too. It seemed like I thought Lincoln Riley was going to go. I really did. I thought he was going to go, and then you get these sweet fucking deals. They bought him 2 houses in California. How are you going to say no to that? Fuck. It almost makes me.
Shit. If you can get one of them top college jobs where you get fucking the best players.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Nick Saban.
Yeah, you get paid millions out. And also, if you don't win a championship, it's not like, oh, I'm going to get fired. It's like, did I put up a good team or.
Well, sometimes, like, LSU will fire you.
Yeah, that's true. There are some teams that'll let you go. Man, how about, it's not on there, but did you see what Deon Sanders did? He got the number 1 recruit in all football, a cornerback, to commit to his Jackson State.
Wow.
And they said that, and this isn't, he's gotten a couple of pretty high recruits that would have never gone to Jackson State, but you sit in a room with Deon Sanders,
especially as a cornerback.
He's a cornerback. Yeah, he's a young cornerback. He's sitting there talking to the greatest cornerback of all time. And he's like, they just said that, like, there's so many, Rich Eisen and all these guys are talking about, like, I'm telling you, Deon Sanders, because everyone thought, okay, Jackson State's going to be he's going to start there and then he's going to go somewhere else. But Deon keeps saying, he's like, y'all don't understand who I am. Like, I'm going to win with this team and I'm going to get this program to a championship level because I am that great. And he wanted Florida State's job. You know that whole story of where he went to Florida State and was like, look, I'm thinking about getting into coaching. I want to give you guys, y'all are my alma mater. I want to give y'all the first go. And they said, nah, no thanks. Nah, no thanks? You fucking idiots. And I think it's because, and Rich Eisen brings up a good point, he's a very funny guy. He's like Michael Irvin, like him on TV is very funny. And so you kind of think like, oh, he doesn't take this serious, But like Rich Eisen brought up multiple times where they would be working at NFL Network and they would want to do something with Prime, but he was coaching his son's like flag football little league team or whatever, and they would be like, hey, we got to have you on at this time, and he'd be like, nah, we have practice. for this flag football team then. And Rich Eisen was like, are you crazy? Like, are you telling these people no? You know that they're like, and he was like, I don't care about this show. Like, if y'all don't want me on this show, you don't want me on the show. And he strong-armed them. And Rich Eisen said that they eventually would say, okay, we're going to do this when Deon wants to do this because we want fucking Deon Sanders on the show. And he would come in and they said that he would have like his coach uniform on and be like, yeah, we just got done with practice. And it's like, man, this guy, you can tell. And he said multiple times, he's like, I'm not going to do this to these kids where I told them that I was going to make a commitment to them. And he's like, I told Jackson State, I made a commitment. I'm going to win y'all a championship. It gives me goosebumps because if you're a kid, if you're a young recruit and you're like, oh, I want to go play in Alabama or something like that because I want to make it in the NFL, I'm sure Prime is telling you in these little one-on-one interviews, he's like, you're going to go to the NFL. Don't worry. I'm going to get you there. But how amazing would it be if you joined me and we beat one of these big teams? Now you're talking about going to the NFL. And a lot of these Hall of Famers come from one of these fucking lower ends, that's where Randy Moss came from. That's where he came from. That's where Shannon Sharp came from. That's where Calvin Johnson. Like a lot of these dudes came from small schools. So it's really cool. It was cool. It was cool to see him beat the system in the Alabama. And of course, all the fucking top schools came out and were like, yeah, I just worry that he's offering them some sort of financial, he's giving them some sort of endorsement deal, and that's why they're going there for the money. It's like, are you hypocrites saying that you motherfuckers weren't giving people money? Is that what you're saying?
He's doing what we've been doing.
He's doing what we've been doing, and we really don't think that's fair. The black guys shouldn't be beating us in our own game. Fuck that. Unbelievable. But yeah, we got way out. The train went all the way out the tracks.
That's what happens when you start talking about Jacksonville and the Jets.
Yeah, fuck you, Jacksonville and the Jets. We should have never got on you. But Jacksonville lost. Jets won. That's the end of that. So I got that right. I said the Jets.
Good job.
Philly stomped the fuck out of another really bad team that rolled Jake Fromm and Mike Glennon and everybody else they could out there at quarterback to try to stop the bleeding, but it wasn't going to happen. And listen, Philly, I've been saying about Philly, they're a young team, but I like the way they play sometimes. They can get after you, and their defense can get after you. So
they might make the playoffs.
They might make the playoffs, and they think if it's Philly versus Dallas. I don't know. Dallas could stumble.
They won't be scared of them.
No, they won't. And I think I like Jalen Hurts. So yeah, 34-10. They beat a bad team. I got that one right as well. Then we go to where Tampa Bay got right. We didn't get to talk about it because it was the week before. But the New Orleans Tampa Bay game was just so sad.
Brutal.
And Chris Godwin, I have him over here because it's a big deal. Chris Godwin torn ACL, out for the rest of the year. And the hit that he took for tearing his ACL was a big topic this week because Tom Brady, every fucking receiver, every talking head that you can find, everybody that used to play in the NFL all say the same thing. I completely agree. Why is it okay? You can't hit defensive backs in the knees. You can't hit linemen in the knees anymore. You can't hit the quarterback in the knee. You can't hit running backs in the knees. Getting hit in the knee, the only person that you're allowed to hit there is the fucking receiver. And they all say, I don't give a fuck if you hit me helmet to helmet. I would much rather you hit me up top and hit me in the head than hit me in my knees. Chris Godwin said it after the game. He said, I really wish the guy would have fucking came and met me. At least, if you watch the play, he dove at his fucking legs. I
didn't watch it.
He dove straight at his feet and flipped him around and fucking up on top of his head. So, Mike Evans is banged up too. Leonard Fournette will be out for the rest of the regular season. But yet, I knew Carolina's a terrible team.
You didn't even pick anybody.
I know. I didn't start. Well, you know who I picked. You're
telling me that we were supposed to believe you picked Tampa Bay.
Well, I'm telling you. Just take my word for
blindly.
it. But Tom Brady, I forgot to circle it on the little board, but Tom Brady, I'm always going to go with TB12. They were a TB11 spread. They were going to win by 11, and boy, did they. Their defense played a lot better in this game. I know it's Carolina, but their defense offense is starting to come together. They have such an easy schedule for the rest of this. They go the Jets next week, and then their last week is Carolina again. So I think Tampa Bay easily wins
Rule
out.
said that everything is going according to plan.
Not really, but not really though. And they had Sam Darnold. It was so funny that they had Sam Darnold. They were still putting Cam out there for plays.
Oh, really?
It was like, okay. So I mean,
Did Darnold play?
yeah, he did. He played. I think more than half the game. I mean, they pretty much used Darnold, and they brought Cam in there for these. Oh, he's gonna run the ball. No, he's not. But he's not though. He's not gonna run the ball. He doesn't even have that going for him. So, yeah. Carolina's a terrible team, but Tampa
gonna
Bay
have a higher draft pick than the Texans.
They probably will.
They should take a quarterback.
They definitely should take a quarterback. And even though they traded, I think, picks for Sam Darnold, this ain't the answer. You need to go find somebody else. If you are Jay-Z, you need to be smart enough to make that call. Chicago at Seattle. Man, you know what blew my fucking mind? And it was on at work. And
That you couldn't see the fucking
Not at
Bears
work. It wasn't
jerseys.
well, yeah, that
they're
was
wearing white.
You've had Nick Foles this whole time.
I know. I thought the same thing.
When he came out there and he's playing, I was like, wait a minute. You've been rolling Andy Dalton and Justin Fields out there?
Well, I was like, I can't believe that Andy Dalton is better than Foles.
No way.
Yeah,
and he wasn't.
They traded for Nick Foles last year.
But Nick Foles made some great throws in this game. He played well. They won the game.
But the problem with Foles is he can only do that like 2 or 3 times a year.
I know. It was just, and don't get me wrong. Justin Fields, I'm sure they thought was going to be better than he was. And so they thought eventually maybe Justin would take the spot of Andy or Nick. But it just hasn't. They're Matt Nagy is fucking terrible, and he's got to go. But the Chicago pulled out a win against a Seattle team that just can't seem. I think the magic might be gone. And it's weird because they have weapons. I know that all their running backs have gone out, but they have weapons. They have DK Metcalf, who played better in this game. They have Tyler Lockett. They have Bobby Wagner still on defense. They have Jamal Adams. They have weapons. They have things that can make them a good team. It's weird that they've been so bad this year. I did call it though. I did say that they would be the worst in their division. That was one of the things I got right. Only one. And they were a 7-point favorite, which was pretty high. Should have alarmed me because Seattle is not that good. But Chicago got the win, and that made me wrong because I picked Seattle. And Pittsburgh going to Kansas City. I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know why I decided to do this, but I picked Pittsburgh in this. Kansas City's been humming. They were a 9.5 point. Maybe it was the 9.5. Maybe I thought it'd be more competitive than that.
They fucking whooped the shit out of
10. I don't even know when they scored, honestly.
It was way late because
it
was
had
to Deontay Johnson, and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
And I watched the majority of. I watched. The
It was
whole
an ass
first
whooping.
half.
It was an ass whooping from beginning to end. Pittsburgh did not seem like they were even close to in this game.
No.
They've got to draft a quarterback too. You can't tell. How are they
And
not
more
drafting a
offensive
quarterback?
linemen, Jesus Christ.
But Pittsburgh really did not look good. My man
Kansas City
Najee
looks good. Kansas City looks good. Finally.
Oh yeah, Kansas City does, and they're the number 1 seed. They're 11-4. They've got an interesting game this week because they're going to Cincinnati. So I don't know if they win out, but it looks good for Kansas City going into the playoffs. They look like they're finally back on track. I got that wrong because I was a crazy person and took Pittsburgh. I think it was the 9.5. 9.5 I thought was a little high, but it wasn't because Kansas City beat the fuck out of them. And then we go to Denver at Vegas. What a doo-doo of a game. Oh, how Vegas does not impress me at all. There's nothing about Vegas that makes me go, oh, yeah, they're a good team. They squeak out these wins. They have these strange ability to squeak out these close games, but they're just not a very good team. But your boy Hunter Renfrow, he loves – and Hunter Renfrow going into next year, that dude was undrafted in a lot of leagues. It will not happen next year. He's number 22 on my board here. He's absolutely killed it. So, but yeah, Denver, they've got to draft a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater, I think, was this the game that it was either this week or last week that he got fucking carted off the field with he had a very scary concussion injury. And they thought it was.
I didn't hear about that at all.
Well, either it was this week or last week, but either way, I know he did not finish the game because he had his face mask taken off and he was taken off on a stretcher. So, and I mean, he really wasn't anything to write home about, anyways. But I don't know what Denver has left going for the rest of the year, but I imagine they probably lose all their games. Where are they on this list? The Chargers. Wow,
Who knows?
great. Yeah, who the fuck knows? Then we go Washington at Dallas. This was Sunday night. Holy shit.
This was a fucking beatdown.
Now, Washington is not a good team.
No.
I just want to start by saying that. They are not a good team. However, Dallas looked really good. And DeMarcus Lawrence with that pick six. I mean, Trayvon Diggs got his 11th. The Micah Parsons is playing fucking great. I just, I'm never going to root for the Cowgirls, but I do see them as a threat going into the playoffs. I get it. Tampa Bay, that might be something that you have to go through. You might have to play Dallas again. So
If their defense plays like that.
yeah. But they've got a very interesting game this week. Very interesting game this week.
Honestly, I think that Dallas should be the favorite. Yeah.
Well, and they are. But I smell Arizona on a get right. But we'll get that's tomorrow's show. But Sunday night's game was not even close. 14-56.
I got like 30 points from their defense.
I took Washington in this because I thought 10.5 was high. I was very wrong. They stomped them out. But yeah. And then last night's game, man. I felt bad for this kid, whoever this kid was, Ian Book. They brought in this kid because Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill were both on the COVID list. And this poor kid, man, it was like, oh, this is not what you want as your first.
He threw a pick six in like his first pass.
First pass, pick six. Now your butthole is all the way puckered. You're just shitting bricks because you're like,
it got tipped.
Oh yeah, but then it just got worse. I don't know how. I think he ended up with 4 picks, maybe something like that.
I stopped watching it.
Yeah, it was bad. But Miami, Jaylen Waddle. That's a thing. That's a real thing. He's number 21 on my list over here, and he killed it. And I got that right. I said Miami would win. I don't know why. Maybe that was before all the quarterbacks went out. Maybe that spread probably went the other way, I would assume.
Well, they all got COVID.
Yeah. So I would assume sometime later in the week, New Orleans was not a 3-point favorite anymore. So I don't know if I got it right or not, but I went with Miami, and they won the game.
Well, you got it right.
I got it right. Now, as far as getting it right, I got 11 of them right of who won the game. And truthfully, I only got 9 out of the 16 games right when it comes to Vegas's point of view.
Which is all that matters.
Yep. And mybookie.com said that was good enough, so they backed up the Brinks truck. Looking at the playoffs going into this, AFC, Kansas City's number 1 at 11-4. Then Tennessee, Cincinnati, and Buffalo. Tennessee's 10-5. Cincinnati, Buffalo, Indianapolis, and New England are all 9-6. And it goes in that order right now. Cincinnati, Buffalo, Indy at 5, New England at 6. Miami is at 8-7, and they snuck in last night with that win. They've won fucking, what is that? 7 in a row? Jesus. And Baltimore is definitely on a skid, especially with their quarterback situation. The Chargers are 8-7. You all know how I feel about those fucks. And the Vegas Raiders are also 8-7. None of those teams, like you said, all 3 of those teams, they don't scare anybody. Miami's played a lot better, and maybe they do well in a playoff game. Who knows? But it's got Kansas City's to lose. Kansas City should.
I'd say Indy and Kansas City, as of right now, are playing the best.
What a great matchup that would be if Indy and Kansas City went to the AFC Championship game. That's a great matchup. I don't know if it would work out that way because of seeding, but on the NFC side, Green Bay 12-3 at number 1. I think that'll probably stay number 1. They probably should have home field. They have Minnesota this week, but we'll see. Dallas and the Rams and Tampa Bay are all 11-4. It goes in that order right now. Dallas, Rams, Tampa Bay. Arizona has fallen to 10-5. They are number 5 seed. They will probably stay there, but we'll see what happens. They have some tough games coming up. I don't think they get to play the Rams again. And who do the Rams have? Why can't I say? Oh, okay. Tough game, too. But The teams wanting to get in. Well, the teams that are going to probably get in, San Francisco and Philly, I think those will be the teams that eventually make it. Neither one of them scare me. They're both 8 and 7, and then Minnesota, Atlanta, and New Orleans are all 7 and 8. So those are the hopefuls to get in. Those three teams, man. You talk. I mean, New Orleans from last night with Ian Book. Even if it's not Ian Book, even if it's Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian. They're getting stomped out. These bottom teams are not beating any of these top 5 teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
Not a lot of parity in the NFC. I see a lot more in the AFC. So, but yeah, let's see. How much time we got left here? You want to talk about the top 50 tomorrow show, or you want to do it now?
No, I don't care.
Let's. It's interesting. It's last week I did this where I did the breakdown of wide receivers to running backs to tight ends in the flex position. This is also not based on my scoring. I put this on ESPN standard scoring. So this is what most leagues would be the standard. And I've got 27 wide receivers, 19 running backs, and 4 tight ends. Can you, without looking, do you know the tight ends?
Andrews. Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Kittle.
Yep. And then the other one's surprising. But he really has been consistently good.
I know who it's not.
Dak likes him. Dak likes
Schultz?
him. Yep.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a consistent thing. I mean, he scored more than fucking Amari Cooper. So, but the 27 wide receivers, that is all Josh needed to see to understand that I have needed an evolution. I need an evolution in my thinking. I mean, even right here in the top 5, you've got 3 receivers and 2 running backs. So, in the top 10, let's see, there's a ton more receivers. So yeah, Cooper Kupp has scored 391 points. Jonathan Taylor scored 342. That's fucking crazy. That's a whole week. That's 2 weeks worth of fucking good points. Cooper Kupp, you could make an argument he should be the number 1 pick. Yeah. I totally understand next year
if he could duplicate the season.
Yeah, and maybe that won't happen. Maybe, the Rams will spread it out a little more. But when I watch the Rams play football, I always say, how the fuck is that guy open? He's still open. He's always open. So either something is not going right in the defensive schemes, or that guy is just, there was a little stretch where Julian Edelman was kind of untouchable like this. Like he always got open for Brady and he was getting great catches, and fantasy football wise, he kind of killed it. I don't know. He never had this where he was fucking leading the league in all 3 categories for a receiver.
No, it's only been done like 3 times.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what Cooper Kupp has done. So I totally understand taking him at number 1, but Devontae Adams has also really balled out these last couple weeks too. And as long as Aaron Rodgers and him are there on the same team, I gotta imagine that connection's gonna be there. But Jonathan Taylor's number 2, Devontae Adams number 3, Justin Jefferson has surpassed Austin Eckler with so many consistent good games in a row. He is, to me, definitely overtaken Tyreek Hill as that. Obviously Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams, that's who your clear-cut number 1s are going to be. But Justin Jefferson is right there behind him.
Yeah, and he's only going to get better.
He's going to get better next year. You're absolutely right. Number 5, Austin Eckler. I think he's been a surprise to a lot of people. And next year, he definitely should go very high in drafts, because if you think that you need to get your running back first, I respect it. I get it. But I think Papa's going to change his tune next year. It's going to be wide receiver city, baby. Austin Eckler, Deebo Samuel, another big fucking surprise. Tyreek Hill, number 7. Number 8, Joe Mixon, another guy that next year he's got to break into the top 5 for running backs. I think. I don't see how you can put other people ahead of him. I wouldn't put Alvin Kamara ahead of him. I wouldn't put any of those old school Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not putting him ahead of Joe Mixon. None of those guys that used to be in the top 5 for running backs should be there anymore. Christian McCaffrey, no way. But yeah, Joe Mixon. Mark Andrews with so many good weeks over the last like 5 weeks. I feel like he's put up 30-point weeks every single. He's their check down guy. He's a big body. He seems to stay pretty healthy. I don't
I'm
know if I
surprised
take
he's in
him
the top
over
10.
Travis Kelce, but I definitely think next year it's, whereas this year it was Travis Kelce and Darren Waller, it's going to be Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews, and somewhere in that 1 and 2 on the tight end pick'ems. And then my man Najee staying right there in the top 10, making me look like a genius. He doesn't have monster weeks, and I don't know if that's just because Pittsburgh sucks, but I think next year it just should get better, right? I mean, I think next year you could feel comfortable drafting him somewhere in the top 10.
He scored a lot of touchdowns this
No,
year.
but Pittsburgh's been really bad, so,
Right. So,
it's
yeah.
hard because
If their offense gets better,
somehow he's still here in the top 10, even though in spite of their shitty ass offense. So, but Leonard Fournette, holy shit, at number 11. Now he is out for these last couple of weeks, so his numbers will drop and he won't be that high. Some of these people will definitely pass him, but Leonard Fournette has definitely played way above expectations. I'm sure in some leagues he might have gone undrafted. I don't know about undrafted, but he definitely went super late in our draft. He went really, really late. Stephon Diggs at number 12. Deontay Johnson at number 13. I think that Deontay Johnson going into next year will not be slept on. We will all realize that he's the number 1. Jamar Chase at number 14. Y'all know how I feel about the Bengals. They've been playing really, really well. Another guy whose numbers are going to drop, number 15, Chris Godwin. Now he's out for the rest of the year, so he'll fall out of this here in the next couple of weeks as well. Ezekiel Elliott, number 16. You know, I want to say that it's over with Zeke, but he continues to have good weeks on a team that wants to run the ball. So I can't keep talking shit about somebody who, fantasy-wise, he still keeps putting up good numbers. So I can understand you saying that Zeke needs to stay in that top 10,
I wouldn't be excited about it.
No, I wouldn't be crazy about it next year, but I got to give respect where it's due, and he's scored a good amount of points, so he's done a good job. Travis Kelce, Keenan Allen, James Conner at number 9. You got to be fucking kidding me that he ended up at number 19, and I dropped him. Unbelievable. I won't make that mistake next year. I like it. I think that it goes forward into next year. I know that they have Chase Edmonds, but I think they found something with James Conner, and I think they signed
runs hard.
Yeah, and he signed a multi-year deal, so it should be good stuff with Arizona and James Conner going forward. Speaking of good stuff, Cordell Patterson, number 20. Who the fuck knew? Cordell Patterson's fucking parents didn't even know this was going to happen. And next year, they need to list this motherfucker as a wide receiver. I'm telling you, fantasy football, you've got it fucked up. Or at least give me the both. At least give it to, where you can put him at both. But then that makes him even more valuable. Yeah. If he's both and you can plug him in anywhere, that makes him super valuable. You probably get him a top 10 pick if he's both. Number 21, Jaylen Waddle, called it. And he scored, I think, just once, maybe twice last night. He had a great game last night, and it is definitely going to be Tua's guy going forward. So next year, he will not be a sleeper. He will be something that we are all fully aware of. Speaking of fully aware of, we've already talked about him, Mr. Hunter Renfrow. He will not go undrafted next year. I guarantee you that. We will definitely all snag that little white man up, even though it looks like he shouldn't be out there. And every time he gets hit, I wince because I'm like, oh no, he's hurt for sure. But he's pretty resilient. He pops back up. I mean, he's got that little white man syndrome where it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm invincible with Marky Mark. I'm Mark Wahlberg okay. Mike Evans. CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown. This one's pretty interesting, and he's had a couple of really good weeks in a row. I see why he's now.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's that high. Number 20 what is that? 25? Yeah, that's pretty high for him. I wouldn't expect that, and I'm not trustworthy enough with him. I wouldn't feel great about it next year, but I mean, if he's doing this for you. And you probably drafted him late. I mean, good for you. If you used him in these last couple of weeks and he scored some touchdowns, good for you. DJ Moore, that's one that, depending on who their quarterback is, but he started off like fucking gangbusters. Yeah, and
he fell off because apparently.
Their quarterbacks suck. I mean, in
Cam Darnold, we thought he was.
Yeah. Before the injury, he was doing well. And then when he got hurt and then he went out and they tried to plug pieces in. But with Cam Newton being your quarterback, you're not going to get shit. Cam Newton made a fucking interception that was like, what are you doing, bro? You just handed it to him. He can't throw, and it's very obvious. But DJ Moore, I'm into it depending on who the quarterback is. He impressed me at the beginning of the season. And he might be somebody who is a good, if you were smart with DJ Moore, maybe you saw this coming and you use him as trade bait. Because he might be like Christian McCaffrey where he starts off like gangbusters and maybe you could talk somebody into it and then you could trade for him. But I don't know. Aaron Jones, number 27, he's kind of snuck back up there. He's had better weeks. Green Bay definitely, when they go with him, they win the game. So if they try to be an all Aaron Rodgers team, doesn't go well. Aaron Jones helps them out a lot. T. Higgins. Definitely somebody I'm going to be looking for next year, and Michael Pittman, both guys that I'm going to be looking for next year. T. Higgins really impressed me in this last week. He balled out in this blowout of Baltimore. And I mean, with Jamar Chase going to be getting a lot of number one looks next year, I could see T. Higgins really benefiting from that and getting a lot of one-on-one matchups and really having a great year next year. And he's number 28 here. 29, Michael Pittman. Number 30, Antonio Gibson. I don't know about that going forward. I get it. I mean, especially with running backs, you need good running backs. So he's a damn good running back. I don't know about the Washington football team, though, and that makes me nervous. So, Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, DK Metcalf. Then we go Nick Chubb, Tyler Lockett, Adam Thielen, and then finally Alvin Kamara. I don't think many people would have thought that Nick Chubb would have scored more than Alvin Kamara, Antonio Gibson. Just some of the running, Cordell Patterson, James Conner, some of the running backs that went ahead of Alvin Kamara. It might make it to where his draft stock drops a little bit next year, and I kind of like that because I don't see him being done. I thought he had some good weeks. He's just playing on a bad team right now, but we'll see what Sean Payton does. I think Sean Payton's fully aware that he's got to go get a quarterback. And I think he goes and he finds somebody. I don't know who it is, but I think he goes.
Some are suggesting that Sean Payton's leaving.
Oh, wow. That would be shocking. He's one of those ones, just like Pete Carroll, that it seems like because he's won a championship, you're gonna let him play for a little bit, or you're gonna let him go for a little bit.
Well, I don't think it'd be New Orleans.
Yeah.
Getting rid of him, it would be
him
Sean Payton deciding that he...
And then still in this top 50, because his numbers were that good, is Derrick Henry. Still ahead of Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook has been playing, and Derrick Henry has not, and Derrick Henry is still in the top 50. That is funny.
Well, in all fairness, Dalvin Cook hasn't been playing.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook has been out a lot, too. But then number 40, my guy Javonte Williams has snuck in here with a lot of good weeks. This week he had a 30-point week. He's even on games where Denver doesn't score that much. They're throwing the ball to him. I think eventually it did get to what I said. It just took way too long to get here. But I said that this would happen where he would overtake Melvin Gordon. And I like it going forward. I don't know about next year. I'm not going to reach for it. If other people are going to reach for it, okay. But I'm not crazy about it. I do think I will reach for this next gentleman, though. I think DeAndre Swift has shown me that on this Lions team that plays hard, if they can draft well and get some good pieces around him, I like DeAndre Swift, and he is number 41. George Kittle, number 42. 43, Christian Kirk. Like that. That's somebody I picked up Christian Kirk and have him in most leagues. It's nice to see that he actually has done as good as I thought. I thought that he's been putting together consistent weeks, but you don't really know if you can trust him because when DeAndre Hopkins was there. But with D-Hop being kind of injury prone, Christian Kirk's not a bad pick. He goes undrafted most of the time, so he's not a bad one to look for next year. Terry McLaurin, though, not undrafted. He is drafted in most leagues, and he's done really well with the shit that they've rolled out at quarterback. If he had a better quarterback, Terry McLaurin would be a very high value pick.
He had a better quarterback, he'd be in that top 10.
Yeah, he would. He would because he's good. But he's not. He's number 44. Number 45, Josh Jacobs. Very interesting. I did not realize that he had been scoring points because when I played with him, he didn't score shit. But yeah, Josh Jacobs has snuck into number 45, and they use him. And Vegas next year is going to probably use him again. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not. I've drafted Josh Jacobs a couple of times, and it never does quite what I want it to. Dalton Schultz making it in there at number 46, like we said, very impressive. They use him a lot. He's a check down guy, and I got to assume next year he'll just get better because was he there last year? I don't know, but this has got to be a younger relationship between him and Dak, so it's just going to get better. Amari Cooper, number 47, 48. I think it's Darnell Mooney, I believe is his name, Darnell. Kind of surprising. I didn't realize that he had been putting together good weeks like that, but that's Allen Robinson's not on this list, so that must be the new guy in Chicago. Damian Harris has snuck into the top 50. He was not there before, but he's had good weeks in a row. And on a running back committee of the New England, you never really know, but he seems to be somebody that next year I'd be into it if I had to. And then James Robinson, who just fucked his Achilles up in Sunday, and he's out for the rest of the year. So he's going to fall out of the top 50 as well. But James Robinson, very serviceable running back on a shitty fucking team as well. So, but yeah, very interesting. 27 receivers, 19 running backs, and 4 tight ends. I think the tight end position. I don't know. Going forward into next year, I don't know who I would. If you don't get one of these 4 guys, and you get Darren Waller, or T.J. Hawkinson, or Noah Fant, or one of these people that have been serviceable, Dawson Knox, you're gonna feel a little uneasy. I mean, you kind of need these fucking tight ends to feel like, okay, I'm good. Like I didn't have a tight end all year, and it really it made a big difference. It really sucked for me. So I don't know. Tight end's a weird position. I don't know what to do with that next year. But this was week. What was 16? This was week 16 that we just had. Yep, so with 17 coming up. We're going to talk about it on tomorrow's show. We're back. We took a week off, but we're back in this bitch. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.